Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, Riley, Steven, and Shane. Say what up, guys.
Hello, hello.
I take forever to unpack.
What's up, nerds?
Look, we are officially at a first look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the set that's coming out in November. But here we are, August 12th, 2025, talking about the next set before the next set was released and the next set just came out.
Yep, that's a thing.
What
Yep.
Hunter said.
However, one of us, Riley, has been very excited for this set. This is the set of the year for them, I believe, because you have a whole history behind the Avatar Last Airbender series, correct? You're a big fan?
I love this show. I don't know. You know that idea of like core memories? I have two core memories that like tie around the show. I'm not going to go on a tirade or spiral or anything, but like I love this show. I'm a huge fan of it. My wife is a huge fan of it. So I was super excited when they announced this. And I really hope that this is not going to cost me my kidney like Final Fantasy.
It will.
No, it'll
But-
just cost you 2 kidneys.
We are going to be talking about the cards they announced today from this set. We've got airbending, earthbending, firebending, waterbending. We'll get to all of those. So strap in, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because there are some spicy new mechanics and cards to talk about. We will get straight into it with this first one. This is Aang's Iceberg. It is 2 and a white for an enchantment that has flash. It says when this enchantment enters, exile up to one other target non-land permanent until this enchantment leaves the battlefield, and it has Waterbend for 3. You can sacrifice this enchantment. If you do, scry 2. While paying a Waterbend cost, you can tap your artifacts and creatures to help. Each one pays for 1. So essentially, a Waterbend is just a cost of mana, or it's a convoke.
Yeah.
Artifacts and creatures.
It's an extra
Or
concept.
it's a bulk rare.
Ooh.
Is it? I actually like this one a lot. Normally, whenever we get these effects, like we've seen a lot of these kinds of cards before. However, you can exile one of your own things, and this kind of incentivizes you to get rid of it. So then you can do the waterbend and then potentially scry. This almost acts more like flicker. I would be more tempted to use this on my own thing, like block flash this and on the blocker. So
Yeah, this is definitely one of those interesting cards because you mentioned it. We've seen this effect before. You've got Banishing Light and all those other effects that are in standard at the moment. This having flash, though, that is spicy. I'm here for this.
Eh.
all right, can't convince them all.
I was waiting to see what Steve would say. Meh. I think it's okay. I think there are better waterbending, but this is a cool one.
Yeah. So how do we feel about the mechanic overall as Waterbend, Steven?
I do like, I think, all of the bending mechanic. I think like the only one that was kind of wonky and weird to me was the earthbending one, but I mean, obviously we'll talk about that later, but I think they're all pretty unique and cool.
I definitely think that it's interesting as far as the mechanic itself goes. I like the mechanic as like how it fits in with Avatar itself. I kind of just see it as the name, but I understand that like each one of the different element bending is important. So we were going to see these in this set somehow. I don't necessarily see the connection between like this ability and like something that happens in the show. So cool card though.
My only thought is that water is like fluid, and the way to pay for this is extremely versatile. So, like you can pay mana, you can pay a creature, or you can pay artifact. So it's like very fluid.
Yeah, it's true. I do like the fact that I feel like Waterbend is going to be a mechanic for those Azorius like artifact. Definitely, like these cards will see a lot of play in those kind of effects or kind of decks.
Yeah.
I'll just say that I do intend on going to the pre-release for this at my LGS. And if I don't see a bunch of people while they're playing, just do like, I'm going to be very upset.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We got another bending mechanic with this card. This is Appa, Steadfast Guardian, 2 and 2 white for a 3/4 legendary creature, Bison ally. It's got flash, it's got flying, and when it enters, airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control. That means exile them. While each one is exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 rather than its mana cost. And whenever you cast a spell from exile, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token. So yes, this is Airbend, essentially specifically to Appa. You can do it only to yourself, but Airbend we've seen, and we'll talk about another card later. You can also do it to your opponents if you wanted to. It just makes them cost just 2 later. So very interesting. Riley, how do you feel about Appa?
It's the same kind of thing. This is another flicker style effect. This is a creature that comes in with flash. I really like that. Appa having flying makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It's a cool card. This is Appa kind of towards the end of the storyline, but I definitely like this. I think this is a cool effect.
This is probably my favorite bending mechanic by far. I will not lie. Because you normally when you flicker something, you get the ETB, but if there's a lot of cards in Magic that have cast triggers, and if you flicker it, obviously you don't get the cast trigger. This lets you cast for 2. So essentially you can get 2 of those cast triggers. So I really do enjoy this card. I think the Airbending is like probably my favorite. And I love this card as a commander. And obviously we're not going to jump too much into it, but this is fantastic. I also do love that you see Aang's little glider in the back there. It's nice, cool.
What you said though, it's I think these are very different than just bouncing things. I feel like this could be a very distinct path. I mean, you might put it still in your bounce deck, obviously, because it's another way to do it. But if you're not really capitalizing on cast, it doesn't seem as efficient for me.
I think this is more like air, right? So you're pushing. You can
Right.
push your opponent's things out of the way for you to get through either attack
Or save yours.
or save yours. I think it's very cool. Riley, you had mentioned when we talked just in our little group chat when these video was going live, you feel like Airbend should only be on Aang and Appa, correct?
I'm going to give Appa credit for this very, very loosely. Obviously, the last Airbender Aang is the only Airbender, at least in the first series. So it would really only make sense to have it on cards represented either with Aang, or I guess we're being very lenient with Appa. But I don't know. We could see it on some instants and sorceries and other kinds of cards like that. So
Very cool. Let's talk about some firebending. This one is a double face card, is the Rise of Sozin. It is an enchantment saga for 4 and 2 black. You can, on its first lore counter, it says destroy all creatures. Its second lore counter, choose a card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. And then that player shuffles. And its third and final lore counter says exile the saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. When it's transformed, it turns into Fire Lord Sozin. It is a 5/5 legendary creature human noble with menace and fire bending 3. What does it mean? Well, whenever this creature attacks, you add 3 red mana. This mana lasts until end of combat. And whenever Fire Lord Sozin deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. This card is spicy.
I want to go on a
card is
limb,
dope.
and I'm gonna say that this guy's probably not a good guy in the show.
How'd you know?
Yeah, just getting a vibe.
You know, I did read something, and correct me if I'm wrong because you are a resident Avatar person, Riley. This people were like, why is Fire Lord Sozin a necromancer?
I am also a little confused on that. I think that this card as a whole, as far as like thematically working, the Rise of Sozin, the first half of this card, beautiful. I love what it does. It fits with the storyline. The art is fantastic. Absolutely love this. Back half of the card, 5/5, Firebending 3, Menace. It's a powerful beat stick. It adds mana to it. Love that too. I get lost on that recursion though.
But it makes the card good. Also, Firebending seems pretty great because that Firebending 3, when they steal combat, technically you have not left combat. So you use that 3 mana real quick, grab something from the grave.
Yeah. Seems good. A little hefty on that rise side, but I mean, if you're playing a black
Yeah.
control deck, I guess you could do it.
We do have like a devious cover up that's 1 less mana that does both 1 and 2 at the same time. You don't get the creature though.
Yeah, that was going to be my point too. Like, I don't think I mind paying the extra one for this rather than Devious Cover Up. I do love Devious Cover Up. I think it's a great card, but this is really cool because this is basically that and also a creature that has a lot of upside.
How do you feel about firebending, Shane?
I think it's interesting, and I think it's gonna like maybe not this card in particular because this is a black card, but the other red cards that have firebending, I think it's gonna really make aggro really mean. Like Burn's gonna be stupid in standard.
More aggro.
More aggro,
Hey, combat tricks are real.
for real.
I think out of all the bendings, I think it's actually my least favorite. But then again, I also feel like it's probably the most straightforward, which is fitting.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next card. It is Toph, the first Metalbender. 1 red, green, white for a 3/3 legendary creature human warrior ally. It says non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types. However, they don't gain the ability to tap for mana. It says at the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. What does that mean? Well, target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste that's still a land. You put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and when it dies or is exiled, you return it to the battlefield tapped. That is probably my favorite bending. Steven, you said you didn't like it. This is nuts.
That's not what I said. I said it wasn't my favorite, but so here's the thing. Like I read this card and it really like, I was like, what? You telling me I can have my things become lands in addition to other types, but I can't tap them for mana? What's the point of that? And then I kept reading. I think the issue I have with this is obviously this is like the first look, right? So we haven't seen the full set revealed. We don't know all the cool things that we'll be able to do with like earthbending, but this is just really slow. It only does it to the one target land, and that's the thing I have an issue with. But I love that piece of text at the end that whenever it dies or, ooh, and this is a spicy one, is exiled. It's
Yes,
like, bring your path, please. I welcome it.
get to keep your lands. I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all are silly. That is not bring your path. That is play your Gonti's Aetherheart. Play your why can I not think of the name? Mindslaver. Just
All
bring 'em
real
back
fun
tapped.
cards.
Yeah, all real
This is
fun
gonna be
cards. Your play group is.
I
gonna
mean,
love
which
you.
is it's thematic, right? Because like Toph is mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
have no
I don't know.
idea.
I don't know if Toph is mean.
This is pretty crazy. I don't know. Riley hit the nail on the head, right? You put that on the artifact that becomes a land, and then you sacrifice it at the end step, and then that Mindslaver now comes back because it was a land. It comes back to the battlefield, and then you can do it again.
Yep. You just lock someone out of the game. You just look at an opponent and say, "Sorry, dude, you're just done playing Magic."
I'd rather you have a thing that just said you lose.
But this is better because this actually just says, I get to play all of your decks, and if you scoop, then I'm just going to hit one of your other opponents instead.
Shane, I will say this technically does say you lose.
Yeah, because I scooped.
Something else that we can talk about here is check out this art. These are textless arts for Toph. This is really cool. The first Metalbender. You can find these in the collector boosters. This is kind of nuts looking and awesome.
Legitimate, hate these.
Wow. Why?
Legitimate, love these.
All right.
That's a hot take.
So, I know. Here is my thought: is that like, do I like cool art cards? Yes, I think they're really, really cool. However, I do also feel like they have to be relatively iconic, to where like everybody knows what they do. I feel like Lightning Bolt works beautifully with everybody who's played Magic knows what Lightning Bolt does. But
What does Lightning Bolt
this
do?
is you're grounded. This is a card with a lot of text on it, and there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have. Opponents don't know what this card does. Like, I don't know. I have a little bit of a gripe with that.
Not only a little bit, like it's not only just a little bit of text, Riley. I think that earthbending is strong. I'm not here to argue that at all. It's good, but it's very. I don't know if convoluted is the right word, but to explain what it does takes like 5 lines of text, and then on this
Yeah.
card, like you said, they're gonna remove all those texts. It's like sure, the first couple times you play it, you can explain it over and over and over, but maybe you accidentally missed that it has haste. Maybe you accidentally missed that. Like, there's just so many little caveats that Earthbend does. It's kind of crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. We moved over to this version of the card, and I forgot it had haste.
Yeah, see?
And like
There
we
you go.
just talked about the last one.
It didn't have haste.
It
No,
does
the
have
land.
haste.
The
It
land
does have
has
haste.
Oh, the land.
Earth-
Okay, I thought you meant
Earthbend
like,
gives haste,
I
dude.
was like,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Earthbend gives haste at the end step, which is weird, but
So you can tap
will
the
say-
artifacts again.
yeah, you can tap the artifact immediately. I will say, well, they come in tapped, so it doesn't really matter. But I think my favorite part about the textless card is you get to say reading the card explains the card.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
yeah, this is. I'm here for the no text. Just pull it up on your phone if someone has a question. But let's
Just buy both copies.
move on to another card. This is Katara, Water Tribe's Hope. 2 white, 2 blue, 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior ally. It's got vigilance, and when Katara enters, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token. It's got Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until end of turn. X can't be 0. Activate only during your turn.
This is a cool frame.
This is a cool frame.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
But once again, waterbending here. We know what waterbending does. You can tap your artifacts and creatures to help pay for those costs. How many creatures are you tapping to make them not have the base power and toughness because you tapped them down, which would be unfortunate. I don't think you're doing that very often. However, this can be very, very powerful.
Yeah, you
The
don't have
Waterbend, by the
Man.
way, is the we talked about it earlier. Your creatures can tap for this. They don't have to.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. I was just saying, like, how often are you actually tapping your creatures down to make them have base power and toughness XX till end of turn? Probably not ever.
Maybe on a block or
I
something.
mean, man, do I wish this card was 1 blue less?
Yeah, it is a bit aggressive in the statted up there. Yeah.
I think this card is pushed.
No, it's
Like,
pretty
yes, it's a 3/3. It says it's a 3/3. I don't actually think this is 3/3 in most cases.
This is a cool card. I mean, yeah, I feel like you can flicker this a bunch, make a whole bunch of 1/1s, and then waterbend, make them huge 1/1s.
Yeah, I agree.
But hey,
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't
the,
know. I'm not here for it.
This is the top end of a token stack.
I would agree with that.
well, let's move on to the other Katara. This is Katara the Fearless. It's a green, a white, and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior ally. It says if a triggered ability of an ally you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Now, we saw this as an alternate promo art given out at Comic-Con this past July. So we kind of already seen this card before, but we've got the regular art now. And that is still a powerful ability. There's a lot of allies in Magic.
Never before
Hunter,
seen ability.
Shane, did y'all get
What?
one? Because you guys went to Comic
Oh,
Con.
I know that line was like 5 years long, so no.
I asked for them to pick me up a copy of this.
No.
How'd
Yeah,
that go?
so
Didn't
when
get
we
it.
got there, we
Didn't
saw
get
the
any
line,
cards.
and we were like, all right, let's get in line. And it went down the street, and then we were like, oh, it probably just cuts off there. And then we saw into the parking lot, and it snaked through the parking lot. And we said, you know what? No.
You know, I love my friends,
is-
but I don't love them.
It
like
is
that.
crazy though, because this card had such an effect on the community. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the Magic the Gathering community. I'm talking about the people that saw people were selling this for like $200, and everyone that doesn't even care about Magic just stood in that line to hopefully sell it for $200. And now look at the price of it.
I have friends that stood in that line that don't play Magic. That got the
I
card.
I don't like your friends. I play Magic and I didn't get the card and I want the card.
You could have got the card. You didn't have to even have a Comic-Con pass, so don't cry to me.
I didn't get the opportunity to sit down there for hours on end, okay?
right.
You could have.
This is a brand new ability we've never seen before, guys. It's very interesting. Things
Hey.
triggering twice, so crazy.
Check out this.
What?
No text. Isn't that
Hey,
cool?
that is no text. Okay, this one makes more sense because all you get to say is, "Hey guys, it just doubles stuff."
This one I do feel like is
No.
better.
I think if I play this version of Katara, I'm going to basically just say, yeah, this one just says I get to draw my deck.
I mean, that is
Just
what it
live.
does, right?
But it's simple and to the point. We've seen the Panharmonicon. I feel like they're printing this ability every single set. It's like you gotta hit that threshold of where's our double trigger card? It's gotta be somewhere.
Yep.
Every
we
set
are.
has to have one.
Now it's on
I'm
allies.
saying. Let's move on. We've got Fire Lord Zuko, red, white, and black for a 2/4 legendary creature, human noble ally. It's got Firebending X, where X is Fire Lord Zuko's power. And whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to call it now. We just got warp, and this triggers on that. This is going to be really powerful.
I actually agree.
Riley, this is like when you hated Prosper. This is like a Prosper with an extra color that you can actually will like because it's Avatar.
So yes, for those of you who were like our first 2 subscribers, I shat all over Prosper when Prosper first came out. So I apologize, okay? I understand that I was wrong. I have learned my lesson. I still don't like that card.
This is just like perpetual hate.
This
just
is your
because
redemption arc.
You know you were wrong, and you're just like, I'm sticking to it.
Honestly, what it is just like I'm a Rakdos player to my core, and I look at a card like Prosper, and it's just like chaos. This kills thing. Like this is a dirtily. I'm gonna continue to play like mid range Magic. Where's the fun in that?
Okay.
But this
I don't know.
card,
A Fire
This
Lord.
card, I think that this rendition of Zuko is going to be very powerful for standard specifically, since we just got all those warp cards. Also, this being in white, if you have any Airbenders, it works along with that ability as well. So I think that that's pretty cool. I'm here for it. I don't know if I can talk any more about it.
are you here for this art?
I am not here for this art.
It's
Or
really
for the
cool.
one you're going to show
It's
next.
it's textless. Look,
Riley, do that
Isn't that-
position real quick.
What position?
Kick up
that
in the
Fire
air.
Lord Zuko.
Don't-
There you go.
Ow,
Mission accomplished.
I'm not a firebender.
Anyways, this card's cool, right, Steven?
Yeah, it's a good card. As if Mardu needed more things. Here we are.
Mardu needed another way to make counters on everything.
And make a
God,
bunch of mana.
A bunch of mana. Because
Yeah, this
this
is
says
like
each, right? So this gets bigger. So
yeah, this
this
goes
is going to
really
produce
nicely.
a ton of red in your combat.
Yeah, I mean, also like really good support piece for like a lot of current commanders too.
For sure. But let's move on. We've got Momo, Friendly Flyer. It's 1 white mana for a 1/1 legendary creature lemur bat ally. It says flying, and the first non-lemur creature spell with flying you cast during each of your turns costs 1 less to cast. And whenever another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So a lot of
Momo.
people were saying this might actually fix the kindred type of bats in standard. This is like a really, really good 1-drop bat that will immediately make bats a relevant thing.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, just throwing this out there, that this, and I'm glad that they specified non-lemur. I did the number crunch on this, Hunter, just so that you were aware. This works with literally every other Magic card. This is
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is a cool way to differentiate though between like what was that stupid commander you had where it was like the first spell you cast, but you needed to have that on the field. Now you could play the lemur first and it won't check because you didn't play a non-lemur. You could play
Oh, that's
lemur
true.
and then your next spell will be 1 less.
That's
So
true.
that's really good.
Yeah, doesn't count itself. Great observation, Shane.
Thanks, I read the card.
That's what it's
Yes, Shane, that's what the card says. The art is fantastic, though. Wouldn't you say, Riley?
I don't like it.
I do. It's like the
I know.
Probably out
Brothers
of
War.
curiosity, did you like the Brothers War
Yeah,
schematics?
exactly. Yeah.
Not really, actually.
All right, well then it's a
All
moot
right, well that
point.
makes sense.
All right.
There's a lot of
I got-
cool artwork in this set. This is not one of them.
like a Da
Okay.
Vinci, like one of those from those pages of his book.
Well, let's talk about the art for the next card because I think that's a person that you are very fond of in this next card. This is Fated Firepower. X and 3 red for an enchantment that's got flash that says this enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. This card is spicy, and I think having any kind of like counter doubler on the field before this drops makes this card even crazier.
I mean, Firebending generates mana, and this has flash, which you could drop before they deal damage.
That's pretty crazy. Good
It's
point.
it's almost as if they designed this card to work this way. It's a mythic for a reason.
I think it's really good, but like, it's not as good as a doubler or a tripler.
Well, it depends. If you have a
That's not-
1/1 and you pump 3 mana into this, your 1/1 is now doing more than double.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but like, you have to pump a lot, right? I don't know. It just
Depends.
seems like you have to dump a lot for it to be like overachieving.
Maybe.
I like
But
this
it's
effect.
cool. It's cool though.
I know Steven likes it too, right, Steven?
Yeah, I really like this card. I I bought the Kilo deck from Edge of Eternities, and I'm debating on which way I want to build it. And I've had so much luck, like just putting a bunch of like counters on my creatures and my things. And there's so many things in that deck that deal damage to opponents or creatures. And just slotting this in with
Ah.
flash and proliferating this sounds nuts.
That
Yep.
would be actually stupid, dude.
That would be pretty cool. And Riley, I did allude to the artwork. Who is in this art?
Yeah, we got Uncle Iroh. This is the
This
the
is so
G.
sad.
Why is it sad?
Why is this sad?
I'm not giving away spoilers.
Oh, great.
Uncle Iroh's a beast. Okay, I'm building an Iroh deck.
I'm assuming he's
You
dead.
heard it here first. Uncle Iroh, Riley said no matter what, they're going to build a deck around it. Cannot wait to see how bad it is. Moving on to the next card, we've got Redirect Lightning. It is 1 red mana for an instant lesson. It says, as an additional cost to cast this spell, pay 5 life, or 2. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. We've got a 1 mana and 5 life deflecting SWAT. And I am so here for this card. This is nuts.
Yeah, I like this.
This is spicy and standard, dude.
Spicy and Commander. I think the
That too.
CEDH community is talking about this card too, because just 1 extra mana, who cares about 5 life? Just to deflecting SWAT something away is really good.
Yep.
True.
Life is a
Yeah.
resource. Just burn through it.
Multiple copies of one card seem good.
I don't know how much I love this in standard, but definitely Commander for sure.
Yeah, this. Yeah,
I-
I don't know what else to say about it. Like lessons are back. That's cool.
Yep.
We're moving to Arcavios again, so we're getting a little taste of lessons coming back, because I'm sure we'll get lessons when we go there. But yeah, what did you think there, Riley?
Oh, I was going to comment the same thing that you did with this being a lesson. I feel like thematically this works really well with this set because just like the characters' general progression, Aang specifically like learning new elements, of course, throughout the storyline, and in this case, it's Zuko learning how to like lightning bend, or at least like being able to redirect said lightning. This is a pretty important part of the storyline, him being able to learn all this kind of stuff. So I love this. I think this is an excellent card. I love the art behind all of this. Slam dunk. I need one.
I think we can actually confidently say this will probably be in the top 1 or 2, if not 1, for the cards in the 99 from this set.
Yep.
It'd be pretty playable.
You know what I want to say about this card? Because we haven't said this in a long time. Good card, good.
Good
Card
card,
good.
good.
Moving on to Sokka, Bold Boomeranger. It is a blue and a red for a 1/1 legendary creature human warrior ally. It says when it enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards, and whenever you cast an artifact or lesson spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on Sokka. It's very simple and to the point.
Yep.
Dude,
This one we'll probably see play in a nice Is It build.
here's another way to dump your omniscience into the grave.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like we just got a card with that second ability as well. It's like whenever the artifact enters, you get a +1/+1, or whenever you cast an artifact, you get a +1/+1. So I think that the bonus on this being that rummaging effect.
Yeah.
I think it's very playable, especially with Vivi right now, where they want to get in the grave
Ugh.
with the Cauldron. This
Yep.
is a really good card on the curve.
Yep.
But let's move on to the next card. It's Hakoda, Selfless Commander, 3 and a white for a 3/5 legendary creature human warrior ally. It's got vigilance, and it says you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library, and another ability where you just sacrifice Hakoda. Creatures you control get +0/+5 and gain indestructible until end of turn.
I knew that last piece was going to be there.
Ooh.
Did you?
They put the word selfless in the card. That's all I got to know.
That's exactly correct. It's selfless in the card, it sacrifices itself.
That's
Protects
pretty good.
the team. For 4 mana, it's not bad.
I mean,
It's
I'm just
somewhat-
thinking about this in like a Baitor deck where you really want to get your toughness up a lot.
That's
+0,
true.
+5 is pretty good. Plus, they gain indestructible. So just like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, actually, any toughness matters deck. I mean, this could actually be a huge piece. You're probably not going to use this as a creature, but I like that a lot. Just use that as like an alpha strike, and your creatures also gain indestructible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's solid. Granted, how many allies are you playing in that as well? So the
That
third
might
line
be
of
a
text there
yeah.
probably not very great,
but
but
it might be a flavor text.
Yes.
it's a cool card.
It's a cool card.
Moving on, we do have Jumpstart coming to Avatar as well, which is not standard legal, but other cards you can go ahead and open from different packs. Let's talk about them now, with the first one being Aang, Airbending Master. 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature human avatar ally. When Aang enters, airbend another target creature. And whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, you get an experience counter. And at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white ally creature token for each experience counter you have. And of course, experience counters have never been broken.
True.
This is actually insane.
Actually,
Right? This is
Yeah.
a blink deck that just goes wild. It's rabid. It is so powerful, this deck, if you were to build around it.
crazy that they put that in Jumpstart.
Mm,
Kind of
You
heavy
don't
though.
like
5
this
mana.
card, Steven? For every
I mean,
experience counter, you get a 1/1. It's so easy to
Sure.
get those experience counters.
You're not wrong. I think you're very right. But this is going to be one of those decks where you just have to constantly have protection for this. Because this says at the beginning of your upkeep, right? So essentially you have to wait an entire turn cycle. Your opponents know exactly what your plan is essentially. And if this isn't on the field, obviously you just have a blink deck and you have to continue to do that. But you're probably building around the fact that you're trying to get all these, experience counters.
What
I-
better
I
way to
think-
protect it than to blink it?
Sure. I mean, this is 5 mana. Like at some point, I'm just not going to cast this again. Now, granted, the good thing about it is everyone has wasted their removal on this many times.
And you've got 1,000 1/1s. Because you have 1,000
If this is
experience
on the
counters.
field, yes, you do.
I mean, in all fairness to Steven, whenever I said that this card is absolutely insane, I actually was not looking at this through the lens of like helming a deck. I actually think this is much better as a support piece in any kind of like deck that you are going to be taking advantage of any of the like experience counters or being able to proliferate. If you are playing around with a flicker based deck, I think this is a wonderful support piece. 5 mana for the 4/4, not super great. However, I look at a card like this. I just put together a deck again, and this time I did it with Naya colors. This is going in it.
A what deck?
Norin.
Oh,
Let's move on to the other Jumpstart card they teased. It's Katara, Waterbending Master. It's 1 and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature human warrior ally. It says whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you get an experience counter. And whenever Katara attacks, you may draw a card for each experience counter you have. If you do, discard a card. Once again, these are being so pushed in Jumpstart. They're like saying, go buy packs at Jumpstart.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
I'm buying this as a single 1,000%. This is
Yeah,
probably
this
my
one-
favorite card.
This one's really good.
2 mana to say,
This
hey,
is
when you counter stuff,
insane.
you're gonna draw a lot of cards.
Yeah. So this card to me is insane. I love it with all my heart. I'm gonna buy a single of this for sure because, like, I think when I think of this card, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Brawl Chief of Compliance. It's like a big nope deck. Granted, that one does make your instants and sorceries cost one less, but just drawing your entire deck just sounds so fun to me. Just for saying nope.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No, no, no. I'm just putting every counterspell ever printed into this deck just for fun.
God, this is abysmal.
This
And
screams
one Thassa's
Shane.
Oracle.
Scream Shane, blue player.
I mean, I do enjoy drawing cards, so I'll probably play with it.
Countering.
Yeah, but drawing cards, I mean, I enjoy countering too. Countering is really hard in Commander, let me tell you.
Yeah. Once again, these master cards, this is the only 2 we got, so obviously there's going to be 2 more. I expect nothing less than busted with the other 2. So, we'll see.
Watch, the other 2 are the worst.
I mean, yeah, we'll get 2 others, but it does look like we may have actually gotten a third piece of this cycle with the next card.
Really? Okay. The next
He-
card
he's-
is Fire Lord Ozai. It's 3 and a black for a 4/4 legendary creature, human noble. Because when it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Until end of combat, you don't lose this mana as steps end. You can pay 6, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. I don't think it's part of
Nope.
the cycle. I don't,
Yeah, all right. So, in all fairness, I don't think Fire Lord Ozai needs an additional title. So, I was going with that with, like, we probably don't need a master for this. However,
It's gotta be
what do you think about
Zuko,
this card?
Firebending Master. You know that, right?
I know, but my thought here being is, like, what would they put in black?
They're not going to. It's gonna be just 4.
Ooh, I definitely think they're going to do a black one.
They will.
I'm actually willing to bet it's Zuko's sister, Azula. Let's go with that.
I know so many of
Okay.
these characters, I love it. Let's bet.
I know.
What do you think of this?
Zula would be good though.
What do you think of this card, Shane?
I think it's pretty nuts, dude. I think it's firebending, but not firebending, right? But it's also,
sacrificial fire.
yo, can I do the thing that you do, Hunter? This
Go ahead.
screams Riley.
Okay. I don't think it
No,
does.
it does not.
Thank you. That's what you do. This is where Riley goes, this is not me.
Go ahead.
Well,
Ryan.
this one, first off, paying 6 to do the whole, like, play off the top of your opponent's libraries. I hate that mechanic. I've never been a big fan of this one.
You can only play 1 card too.
I know. Although you do get to dodge its mana cost, so, like, that's super cool if you hit something really, really big and scary. But generally speaking, with my luck, you get 3 lands, and you're like, okay, well, I did nothing on this turn.
Yep.
Now, what I will say is really cool is that this works beautifully with Firebending, because you get that extra red mana, and then it doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm. And if you're playing a deck that cares about sacrificing your creatures, you just boop, 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 kill them all, make a bunch of mana.
Yeah, but
Does
have
not
you
feel
ever
my
seen
level
a
of notice.
Rakdos deck that cares about sacrificing creatures?
That's true. It's
That
gonna
is
be a
new.
new thing, but let me just tell you, it's gonna carve a cool little lane.
You know, I say these things sometimes, and I know we make these jokes, but I hope everyone knows we're joking when we make these jokes.
Let's move on to the final card they announced from Jumpstart. It is the Cabbage Merchant. It's 2 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature human citizen. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you create a food token. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, sacrifice a food. You can also tap 2 untapped foods you control to add 1 mana of any color. Simple and to the point. We've got another food matters
What-
creature. They
What is
just
that
keep
middle
pushing
piece of
it.
text, Riley? Why does that exist? Why do I
I
have to
don't- I-
sacrifice
I-
my food?
I don't really 100% know. Like, thematically, every time that this character pops up, and he pops up multiple times throughout the series, like, it's always because he's, like, carrying his little cart, and then something happens where his cart gets completely wrecked.
Oh,
So
there
I
you
guess
go.
that could just be an allude to that. I mean, like, if you look at the top right-hand corner of the card, like, they've got, like, the little stone toboggans that are shooting through the city. So it's a very thematically impactful card. And as far as a food commander, like, It's in the top 15.
No, this goes into something else.
I only think it's like 15.
This
It's
is
a cool piece, but like,
it's thematically cool because
Yeah.
of the character, right?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
cabbages, even the flavor text on the bottom. Like it's like I get the middle part, Shane. It's because they break through his
and he has to break his food.
Yeah.
I think also if that
Yeah, the
wasn't there,
creatures
you'd
are
have
breaking his cart.
you'd get so many food tokens, it'd be nuts. 'Cause people are gonna be playing a lot of non-creature spells, I'm guessing.
but interesting card.
It'd be a fun
The
meme
final
deck.
the final two cards we're talking about are reprints that are only found in the bonus sheet for this set. The first one is a Force of Negation, which is absolutely wild. They also announced that they are changing the rarity of these to even worse odds than Final Fantasy. So Final
Good.
Fantasy, you were able to potentially get one in every 3 packs of play boosters. They've changed it to one of every 24. So
Oh.
good luck.
This is a small
What?
increase.
Just a little bit harder to find.
Do they have
And-
like significantly fewer?
Specifically play boosters. You can still
they're-
find them same drop rate in collectors, but in play boosters, you have a 1 in 24 chance.
You tell me if I buy a box, I'll get one.
You probably get one.
Maybe.
That is awful.
I think
I
what
hate that.
okay, listen. Their reasoning for this, I'm sure it's all for money, of course, but they claim that it's for a better draft environment.
Yeah,
It's
they
to
don't
save
want powerful cards
draft.
in draft.
Can you imagine a Force Negation in draft? Actually, it wouldn't be that bad,
Yeah.
but yeah, I see. Like, one counterspell. Ooh, I can also imagine
mean-
like a Planeswalker in draft. But
Draft is already like floundering. We've got pick 2. We've got these play booster packs that are bull.
well, I heard the pick 2 is
Also-
mainly for this set, but
Also, the other reprint they announced is another card that won't go down in price because it's being printed in the bonus sheet. It's the Great Henge, aka the Banyan tree. It's
It's a
a
big-
great card
big triangle.
that I wish would go down in price. $63. Not going to affect the price at all.
This one might even go more.
So one thing
This
that I
one
do want
will
to
be
pick. One thing I do want to pick your brains on, though, outside of the cost of these, and they're doing the same thing that they did with Final Fantasy. These are screenshots from the show. What are our thoughts whenever it comes to like the artist approach?
I think it's very cool. Like if you notice at the bottom of the frame there, it's very hard because it's super blurry. It actually tells you where it comes from. Like it says like Earth chapter 24, book 2. So it tells you
You said that
exactly.
so out of order.
I did say that out of order, but it's what it comes from.
I think, Riley, this might be a hot take from someone that doesn't watch the show yet. And I say yet because I do want to watch it. But same with the Final Fantasy. I think it just looks out like misplaced. And like what I
Yeah.
remember Steven said, it looks like a really bad altar that you'd get from like one of those fake altar sites. That's from not knowing the show. I don't want to like destroy it. Like I'm not trying to talk smack.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of the show. Like I love the show. Seeing these snippets on an art, though, I just feel like it just doesn't work.
It feels weird.
I also get
But-
like massive Studio Ghibli vibes.
I mean, for the tree,
Maybe a
yes.
little bit more for the
this
tree.
art.
Force of Negation and Avatar in total, I would say. I don't really get Ghibli vibes from, but I don't
Not
know.
Force of Negation, just this one in particular.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can see it more with the Banyan tree.
But that is going to do it for us today. Look at that. We've got a first look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you guys like that video, hit the like button and subscribe because we've got more content coming. You don't want to miss it, right? Right. So thank you all that are staying subscribed. Over 20,000 of you. Still crazy to us. But if you wanted to check out all of the links to our social media accounts, those are going to be in the description. And before we wrap things up, since this is a spoiler video, let's talk about our favorite cards from today. I will kick us off. Without a doubt, in my mind, my favorite card is Redirect Lightning. That is going
Yeah.
in every one of my picks. Do you have a favorite, Bradley? You are the big Avatar person.
I'm gonna go with the Rise of Sozin, specifically the front half of that card. Artwork, abilities, everything there, 10 out of 10. Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it too.
I think I'm gonna go with Katara Waterbending Master. It speaks to me
I guess I'm just gonna copy Steven. Waterbending Master
Oh.
seems really good.
Couple of waterbenders over here. What was your favorite card? Comment down below. Interested to hear your guys' opinions like always. And on the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, including some exclusive content, early access content, and a bunch of other cool stuff, check the link in the description and consider subscribing. And a very special shout out to our Gains Indestructible tier, starting with
Aaron Hill,
Aaron Martin,
Daryl Tripp.
Demarion Turner.
Dr. Rom,
Yasminder Pabla,
Jimmy Ward.
Jay Pizzle.
Kevo,
Samuel Abbott,
Stingrazor 1144.
Thrifty PSGR.
and William Colombo.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Laters.
I might not unpack till next year.
Bye bye.